We welcome you live to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series, Season number 5, race in Mexico City. We're here in Mexico across the border for the first time this season, the only time this season, only the third time in Grand National Series history. The other two are, of course, at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. And tonight will be, of course, the Grand National Series from the Autodromo Hernández Rodriguez, which, of course, is in Mexico City today. Of course, as always, for an international racetrack, it's a road course. First international race for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series since season number 3, of course, in Spa. Well, here we go tonight for the Grand National Series in Mexico City. We are very excited for this one. Brand new racetrack on the Grand National Series schedule, and it comes to you live from Mexico City, Mexico. All the haulers and everyone has made the long trip, the long, safe trip over, thank God. And we are ready to go tonight. 30 laps around the Autodromo Hernández Rodriguez tonight. We're going to give you, as warm-up session comes up, we'll be looking at some of your top runners in this race. We're going to be going over some of the storylines, your standings for the Grand National Series, entering now race number 10 of the season. You're also going to have 10 minutes open qualifying after that. All cars on the racetrack at the same time for pole. But first of all, of course, the half-hour warm-up session to start us off. We'll have Cameron Chandler joining us in the booth in a little bit. Also have Eli Franklin here as an in-race reporter. Of course, he is full-time in the Grand National Series. As we get ready to go from Mexico City. Like I said, the other two races that were international, the only other two official points races in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League that have been international, not in America, or Belgium, Spa. And now we go to Mexico City for the first time ever. Doesn't include lobbies and whatever, other stuff like that. Just the official races, and the only other one before this was, of course, Spa. Relatively newer racetrack around here in Mexico City. It's a pretty beautiful track as well, very nice area, and we are ready to go tonight. The Mexican fans, it's Payson Lindsay's home race as well, and everyone's fired up for this one. This one's been looked forward to for a while now, and now in Mexico City. Our longest trip of the season across from North Carolina all the way to Mexico. They were home last week in Charlotte, and now they have to, of course, go all the way down to Mexico today for the Grand National Series. Of course, the Cup Series is in Bristol. There's no Cup race here this season, at least. But maybe one day for the Cup Series, you never know. All right, cars are now on the racetrack. Here we go from Mexico City. 20 seconds. Anyways, cars on the racetrack for tonight's Mexico City Grand National Series warm-up session. Here we go. Welcome live to the Autodromo Hernández Rodriguez tonight for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series. And the first car on the racetrack, that is Jacob Clarino. Trying to take a look at him. There he is in the 33 machine. For Chandler Wilson Racing, one win this season in Rockingham, as he makes his opening lap around here in the warm-up session. He's a little bit wide as well, but of course on the racetrack here on this road course. The second Grand National Series road course of the season. Of course, we were already in Sonoma. This one, though, a lot more challenging, I would say, than Sonoma. A lot more corners as well, and it'll be a big race to get used to for these drivers. We had a lobbies race here before. It was a little bit of a different configuration, and it was all the way back in, I believe, September. The track first came out in iRacing. But this is the big story of this race, or the big part of this track that people love, the big stadium section around here in Mexico City. Of course, this used to be a baseball stadium. Now the fans sit here and watch the cars go around through the chicane. As Clarino will head off the final corner, and he'll be down the front straightaway to, I believe, start his opening flying lap on for time. Here is the 51 on the pit road. There's the 24 of Eli Franklin. Here comes one of the good road course racers in the league, Richard Cherry in the 31 car. Still looking for that first Grand National win of the season on 2 races last year at Daytona and Michigan. Ahead of him is Max Diffie in the 12 car. Not the greatest of seasons for Max Diffie. First full-time year, at least, for Chandler Wilson Racing. Second in the Grand National Series. Here comes the 71 of Cole Clausen. As you can already tell, interesting paint scheme for Cole this week. there's ice cubes, there's ice cream, there's Ice Cube the rapper, or whatever he is. I don't really know. There's Rain-X, the Icer, and other stuff on there. So take what you will with that. Maybe you can actually figure out what he's trying to do here, as we are in Mexico City. And he used to run a pace cube without. Unfortunately, we had to ban that, as he has down the back front straightaway here in his Mustang.
That's where I get. Okay, don't look what I just did a little bit ago.
Oh, let's look at Eli Franklin. Oh, there he is through the grass.
I might took the wrong turn.
Wow. Oh yeah, I was doing that. Remember, I was doing that in the my little test session yesterday.
Yeah, I remember that. I took a left instead of a right.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Because it's a different configuration here for NASCAR than something like F1. So I saw Hercules do that as well, so you're not the only one. Here's 65 Davian Tobin, I believe his first Grand National start. Of course, he's full-time in the Cup Series. Never raced in Grand National, though, until today, here in Mexico City. Our stadium section, such a cool part of this racetrack. As Tobin will head down this front stretch. All right. Ashton Miller so far top of the board. Heading down the front straightaway, we'll hit turn 1 for Tobin. Also got the 79 there is Miller. Miller actually won the Lobbies race here back in September, so he does have some good experience and good success already at this racetrack in the league. Here's the 48 of Knox Thompson. Knox has had an interesting year. Let's actually look at your Grand National Series points entering tonight here in Mexico City. So, of course, Christian Herclat so far leads the standings by 20 points over Jacob Clarino. Herclat still looking for his first win of the season. Clarino, of course, has a win at Rockingham. Knox Thompson, this driver we're looking at right now, he gained 3 spots in Charlotte. A great race from the Charlotte Motor Speedway for him. He now sits third in points. Ethan McMillan, not bad couple of races, dropped from the points lead now back to 4th. Cole Clausen, winner in Phoenix this season, sits 5th. Cole Wilson finally got his first win of the season last week in Charlotte. Your defending series champion now is 60 points. And Rip Cherry, P7 in points currently, 43 back in the leader. But you can still see the top 7 only separated by 43 points. So as coming to race 10, the championship battle is still hot on, but Herclat has a good lead, 20 points already. As Thompson will head to the stadium section here. Here is another car. That's Wyatt Youngblood in 37. He had a good run in Charlotte last week. Led some laps, actually, until he had a bit of a rollover down the front straightaway. The 3rd straight season we've had a flip in the Grand National race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. That was a long one last week as well, of course, going along with the Charlotte 600 for the Cup Series. Grand National had a very long race in Charlotte, and Youngblood ended up on his roof. Here's the 42 of Aiden Slightum. Elmore's glue in the car. And 65 of Tobin yet again. There's Clausen. There is Kyron Wilson. And here comes your points leader, Christian Herclat in the 00 down the front straightaway. Southwest Airlines. Apparently he flew down on Southwest Airlines down here in Mexico City, I guess. So that's why he's running this paint scheme. I guess Grand National drivers don't have private jets like the Cup drivers do. As he will head down into turn 1 here. Course, our second of 3 road courses this season. The next road course after this is Watkins Glen. And of course, this is also the final road course of the year. All right. So I do want to ride along with somebody. We're going to wait for Matthew White to get on the racetrack, and then we'll take you a ride along here at Mexico City. Cameron Chandler is supposed to be in the booth in the YouTube car, but he is a large person, so he isn't here just yet. Hopefully he does.
We can go with the hometown driver, Payson Lindsay, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. Well, Payson kind of sucks. So, anyways, sorry, Payson. just had to say it. He's going to roll onto the racetrack. Hometown hero, Payson Lindsay. Oh, he's having a blinking fest in the 7 car. Of course, he is born in Mexico, born and raised for sure. Huge Daniel Suarez fan. And he's going to run his Quaker State car here on the racetrack tonight. Of course, Payson got a bit of a penalty in the Cup Series. Of course, he's full-time there. 30-point penalty for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series has dropped him way out of chase contention now. So he's going to have a good run at Bristol in the upcoming races to get back into there. "18 minutes still to go in this warm-up session from Mexico City." Apparently, the ticker doesn't like this place, so it says no name. We just don't have a name for the racetrack this week on the ticker. All right. Got the Paddock Club down here. I didn't know this was Formula One. We also, of course, have the grandstands all around, and it's just a beautiful place here in Mexico City, especially at the Autodromo Jimenez Rodriguez. First 30 laps tonight. Obviously, no Grand National halfway break anymore this season. So, national racing all around. Alrighty. Cameron Chandler, I believe, is connecting. So hopefully he'll be here in the booth to give us a bit of a ride around here in Mexico City. Of course, like we said, open qualifying, 10 minutes for all road courses. As usual there, that's you can put as many lap times down as possible. Many laps as possible. Fastest lap wins the pole. Oh, man. Ashton Miller very close to hitting that barrier right there. Not sure when your last race winner is going to show up. Oh, Wilson. Maybe he'll be here soon. Who knows? As cars head down the front straightaway here in Mexico City. Got all the great camera work, unlike Bristol, for this race. Pretty limited at Bristol Motor Speedway for tomorrow, but not today for the Grand National Series. And man, Eli, you that must have been pretty scary.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh! Around he goes. Runs over the curbs, and there's Eli, currently stranded. Ooh, she's the 51 will go around. It's the corner everyone's having.
Very curious about get some payback.
It's the corner where we're having a wreck. It's the corner where everyone kind of messes up and thinks they're going the wrong direction. And here is the 88 of Matthew White. Of course, full-time Cup Series, obviously. Greatest NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series driver of all time. But of course, makes select Grand National Series starts. Has a win this season in Grand National. And I believe one of his only starts at Sonoma this year in the 88 car. Can he go 2 for 2 on the road courses? We will see. Cup drivers could be pretty hard to beat tonight with Ashton Miller, especially, and also Matthew White. Here comes White. He's heading down the front straightaway. I do want to take a ride along with Matthew around Mexico City here. So White's going to head down the front straightaway to start his lap here. So, of course, you head down the long front straightaway, a very long front stretch here from Mexico City. Almost hitting the rev limiter. You'll go hard onto the brakes, heading to turns number 1 and 2, where it's a bit of a chicane. You go to 1, you cross back over to 2, on the curb a little bit. You also go to 3, it's kind of like a triple chicane. Then you head on to another, not as long straightaway. And this is where people get tripped up. In the F1 race, you do have a chicane right here, but in NASCAR, it's a little bit different. We'll see if Matthew is able to do it nicely here. Yes, it looks like he will. He will take that sweeping right-hander, basically 180-degree turn, and then you go to the S's, similar to what you see at Circuit of the Americas. tracks like that. He'll go through the S's, and then another right-hander right here to go to the second part of the S's. Oh, he's going to get loose, have to save the race car, and now he will head down the front straightaway, hard onto the gas, down the back straightaway. This is right where the choose cone right there is going to be at the wall opening. He will head down hard into the brakes as well, and this is the beautiful section of the racetrack. He'll go very wide. This is the stadium section of the track, a bit of a chicane as well. Of course, you got the old baseball stadium around here. Very nice scenery for the fans to look out. You will head under the bridge here, the final two corners, then you'll go try to go as hard on the gas as possible to the final corner, which is not completely wide open in a stock car, and then head down the front straightaway. And that is a lap around Mexico City, the Autodromos Jimenez Rodriguez. Of course, with Matthew White. All right, so we're going to try to fix something here real quick. And then we'll wheel it back. All right. So, give us a quick second. All right, so we got to reload iRacing real quick. Apologies for this, but we will be right back here from Mexico City. About 12 minutes still remain in this warm-up session from the Autodromos Jimenez Rodriguez. Gonna be getting tired of saying that tonight. I'm honestly shocked I'm pronouncing it right. As you can tell, I'm not Mexican or Spanish whatsoever. So we're having an okay time, all things considered. All right, Eli, what do you think your feeling on the racetrack has been so far? Do you have any confidence being able to push here in Mexico City?
Absolutely not. But the main thing to worry about is wheel hopping, obviously, especially in the turn one. And it's very easy to wheel hop in turn one. Any wheel hopping, especially how much speed you carry through that straightaway, too, how much you have to slow down in turn one. You could watch a wheel hopping on the opening corner.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Turn one, lap one might be a little bit chaotic. We'll see. If I remember right, it was kind of chaotic in the lobbies race that we had here back in September. So we will just have to see how this goes tonight, especially down into turn number one in the first lap. All right. Anyways, we're back live here, Mexico City, with 11 minutes left to go in this warm-up session. Sorry, the car is just loading in real quick. All right. Such a beautiful racetrack. Great to see the Mexican fans getting a NASCAR show here. The NASCAR iRacing FedEx League, the first time they will visit Mexico City for an official race, at least. Max Diffie heads down the front straightaway. Of course, it's one of the longest front straightaways that we have. One of the longest straightaways that we have on the schedule. It might be, at least. Might actually be the longest straightaway, I mean. Instead of maybe Daytona, Talladega. As Diffie will head to the chicane and once again on the gas. And here's the YouTube car of Cameron Chandler. For some reason, not in the booth yet, though. Not really sure what we're doing. Got the YouTube car on the racetrack, but the man himself isn't in the booth. Here is Ethan McMillan, of course, former points leader this season. Unfortunately, lost that back to fourth in points, but still needs to do some recovery drives. Had a couple of DNFs last week at Charlotte. Also DNF'd out at Dover, and hasn't really been the greatest of runs for him lately. Lost him the points lead and a couple of spots to go along with it. Wilson there on pit road. Here's Matthew White. Here's the 95 of Yair Rodriguez. He's one other Grand National Series start at Watkins Glen last season. He's definitely a road course ringer. You only really see him on these road courses, making a start in Mexico tonight for his first start of the year. This is for Questionable Motorsports. So we'll see what he can do. One of your road course ringers tonight. This man is going to have his home race next week as we go to Miami. Which Cherry, of course. Oh, Eli, I think you're blowing up a little bit.
That'd be alright. I've struggled to complete a lap, so I'm trying to get some lap times down to actually count.
Here is Aiden Slayton racing with Jacob Clarino. Oh, Clarino hits the tire barrier a little bit there. You got to be careful with that in this race. You cannot be doing that in the actual race. Ashton Miller so far top of the board. Chandler is second, but he's the YouTube car. Third, Cheery. Fourth, Erkla. It's Matthew White down in P6 so far. Maybe would have surprised there. Or White. Ooh, McMillan locks up the tires going into the stadium section here again. And once again, heading back into turn number 1 here. Goes McMillan. There's Youngblood again, the 48. Eli's for some reason going in reverse. God knows why. Cherry and Rodriguez having a good battle here in practice. Might be something to watch with these two for the actual race. Cherry to the bumper of that 95, gonna almost move up the racetrack a little bit to these road course ringers. First time, he goes 10th on the board so far. Here's Eli Franklin, the 71 of Cole Clausen again, and that 7 car of Payson Lindsay, the hometown hero. Oh, he gets loose over the bump there.
That's also the thing you gotta watch for is these things in the corners. Can't use all of them. If you put 4 tires on it, you can easily get loose. So you gotta be careful going over these strips.
Yeah, I mean, with being a road course, also careful you don't spin the tires. This Grand National car, of course, does that a lot here. Here's the 00 park lots. It's gonna be easy on the brakes. Don't want to lock up your brakes here today. Gotta be nice and careful. Nice and smooth, and you might have a chance to win this race here in Mexico City. The inaugural NASCAR iRacing FedEx Grand National Series race here in Mexico. Wonder one day if they can get a Cup race. We will see. Cup Series has never raced across the border, so maybe one day, who knows? The only Cup race that has technically been across the border was the Season 4 Monza Clash, which was not a points race, so that technically doesn't count. We'll see one day if this could happen. Or maybe another international racetrack. They actually do have an oval around here in Mexico City. We could do it one day for lobbies. Try it out. Pretty bootleg, but it's there. I gotta say here, Ashton Miller, like I said, he won the lobbies race here back before, so he's the one to watch tonight. He really is, I think. Don't count him out. I know maybe he's in your first choice to win a road course race, but you never know. So qualifying should be pretty intense coming up. All cars going to be on the racetrack at the same time. Going for pole. Cameron Chandler still on the racetrack in the YouTube car and still not in the booth. I guess I don't know if he's racing or not, but now finally on the racetrack comes Cole Wilson, your winner last week in Charlotte, your defending series champion. Not going to get too many laps here in practice. And he'll go say hi to his fellow team owner, Cameron Chandler. Here's Cole Clausen yet again in the ice cream car. Sure. Here's Sark Laps again in the 00. He didn't slide him. Kyron Wilson. And more making the way around this Autodrome Hernandez Rodriguez. Of course, the Cup Series and the Grand National Series this week have two very different races coming up. Cup Series got 250 laps around the last great Coliseum in Bristol, Tennessee. And the Grand National Series, of course, today, a race at the road course in Mexico City. So I don't really think you can get much more different than that. Of course, right after this race, we'll be taking the flight back to Bristol, as we were there last night for iCar. It's been a lot of flying lately. We're going to be tired after this week, and we got lobbies on Friday as well. So, man. Cole Wilson back into turn number 1 here. Might only get one lap in, maybe even not one. He's going to get loose. Then in turn 1, he'll save it. Across the chicane. Of course, no guaranteed cautions in this race, but if we do get that caution flag, juice cone will be, of course, like I said before, another just reminder here down the back straightaway at the wall opening. It's right about there, if we can see the wall opening as Downey crosses it. All right, just about done here in the warm-up session. Open qualifying coming up next here in Mexico. We're very excited for this one. And first of all, who's going to be starting on pole? Kirkland's going to have to try to do everything he can right now to stay in the points lead. Got a good buffer coming in, 20 points now as your championship leader. Currently sits 5th in the practice session. Somebody just blew up in the background, not really sure what that was. Matthew White goes up to 3rd on the board here. All right. 30 seconds left here in the warm-up session. Ready to go racing. Well, first of all, qualifying in Mexico City. Cole Clausen had a bit of a wreck here. There's Gary Smith down the front straightaway in the 5 car. All right, warm-up is over. Here we go. Time to qualify in Mexico City. Who's going to win the pole for the inaugural Grand National Series race here from Mexico City today? Of course, like we said,
prediction for pole.
Miller, I'm honestly going to pick him for a pole here. Matthew White could be another one to watch here, some of the road course ringers. But here we go. Open qualifying, 10 minutes, as many laps as you can put down. It's going to be a race to get off first here. Side by side, Eli Franklin gets in the grass. Herklotz ends up first off the pit road. The other drivers like Knox Thompson will be waiting here in the back to try to get good lap in. So you're going to see multiple different strategies here in qualifying to try to get good laps.
Hey, Ethan, so the YouTube car wants to set a lap, but it's not racing. Is that fine?
Why not?
Okay, yep, perfectly fine by me.
All right. Oh my! What just happened? I saw a tire rolling across the track. Okay. I don't know what that was. Anyways, cars in the racetrack here for this warm-up, or no, qualifying session. Fastest lap, of course, is on pole. 1 round, 10 minutes. Open qualifying, all cars in the racetrack at the same time. Miller has Herklotz let him go here. Herklotz going to stop. Cameron Chandler, the YouTube car.
You also got to think going into turn 1 is hard enough by yourself, but he's 20-some cars going into turn 1. So we'll see. Usually, someone's going to think they can brake a little later than the guys in front of him. So pull you in effect. You could see a wreck in the first corner, but we'll see it.
Yeah, I gotta hope they all keep it clean down in turn 1 here, but you never know what we're gonna see tonight. There's Keaton Shelton running the America car here in Mexico City. Yeah. Oh, here's Ethan McMillan now side by side with him. Casey Lindsay, hometown hero. I don't know if he missed the corner or what there. But you see, it's a busy racetrack here on with over 20 cars going for the pole position at the same time. If he gets out of the way, lets Shelton go. Here's Kyron Wilson. Down the front stretch he will go in qualifying across the line. Also got Richard Cherry, one of your good road course racers. He's going to slide and nearly spin, and he almost does spin. Down to turn 1, there's Cole Wilson ahead of him, Jacob Clarino in the 33 car, and that 48 of Knox Thompson. I mean, how are your non-road course regulars going to survive in this race? We'll see. Maybe some standout drivers that you don't think of that being that good on road courses today could shine. Who knows? Maybe I'm thinking a guy like Christian Herklotz is going to be a standout non-road course regular. Here's Ashton Miller. Back into the stadium section he goes. Top of the board in practice, one of your favorites for pole. A bit of a weird shift moment there, but he will head down the front straightaway to believe start his opening lap. So sports as many lap times as you can possibly put down here. That's what we're going to see. Miller so far is actually top of the board, put down on time. First one over the line there. Here's Dabby and Tobin. Thompson goes second, 8/10 back. Lawson as well in the 71. There is Gary Smith in the 5 car. Here comes Cherry back into turns 1 and 2. A little bit cleaner this time. White goes second place, but a 10th down still on Miller. Lindsay is 4th. Tobin is 5th. Youngblood 6th. You see Clausen, Smith, Cherry, DeFilippe your top 10 so far. Just about halfway through qualifying. Here's Cole Wilson. Only 17th in practice. What can he do here in qualifying? Your winner last week in Charlotte. Really good road course racer. Has multiple Grand National wins on these road courses. He last won at a road course last season in Portland. Also is a Watkins Glen winner back in season 3. Here's Gatlin Downey in the 35. Behind him, Knox Thompson. Thompson, you see it looking at the inside here in the qualifying section. That's the thing with all cars on the racetrack at the same time. You might get impeded by someone. Someone's going to have to get out of the way. It's just going to be kind of a mess here, like it always is in open qualifying. And they have to do it for every single road course race in the league. Here is Matthew White. There's Cole Clausen in 71. There's 65 Tobin. I just realized Navi and Tobin's car has Jacob Clarino's name on the nameplate. Because this is one of Jacob Clarino's cars for iRacing. And I don't know why Tobin's using it. I guess you've had it on trading paints. It just has Clarino's name on it, which is actually really hilarious. Okay. I didn't notice that till now. Jerry is third here, though. Rodriguez goes fourth. Wilson is seventh. Herclass only eighth. Here comes Tobin down the front straightaway to complete his second lap. Not through. Here's Payson Lindsay as well in the 7 car, currently 6th. So if you would come down pit road like right now, you're coming off pit road, you could come off pit road and then maybe start your final lap. Let's see Clarino move up to 4th on the board here. Still no one able to bump off Ashton Miller just yet. Currently sits on provisional pole, so of course you can start your lap time theoretically with 1 second to go, your final lap, and be able to finish it once the clock expires. Here's Rodriguez. Currently P5. Miller's still top of the board here. Can anyone beat that 79 machine? Here's Keaton Shelton. Here's Max Stiffy as well. See Payson Lindsay on a lap time, so is that 71 of Clausen and Matthew White. I believe he is just about to power up to his final lap here. Coming on his final lap, this is going to be it for Matthew White. Can he take Miller off pole? Here he comes to the green. Ahead of him, here's, again, Tobin, Jacob Clarino, Richard Cherry, who's currently 3rd. Clarino is impressively in 4th so far. Herclass down in 10th, a little bit further than we thought we would be. Going wide nearly in the wall is Ustich. Here's Ashton Miller, your pole sitter so far. Looking to just even improve his laps. Rodriguez ahead of him. Coming to the line yet again, currently 5th. Will he improve? He's about 6/10 down on pole. Across the line goes Yair Rodriguez. Miller backs it down. I believe this is it for Miller. Rodriguez goes 2nd, but Miller goes 7/10 quicker. My goodness, what a lap. Unbelievable. Wow. I was saying backing it down, rightfully so. Top of the board still, but now 7/10 ahead. That's got to send the pressure to these drivers' heads, especially now Matthew White. Final time through the stadium section. Actually going to have one more lap if he wants it. Through the final corner he goes. Maybe going to do one more lap if this isn't good enough. Here he comes down the front straightaway to maybe be his final lap. I don't know. He's going to be able to start one more if this isn't good enough.
White 2nd.
Yeah, White improves, but still a half second down. He'll go with one more. Clock is just about to expire, so of course you can finish your laps once the clock expires. Final driver to start a lap will be Payson Lindsay, was 7th. So Shelton will not get to the time here, so these drivers able to finish their laps. Here they come. Cole Clausen was 14th. Can he improve? There's Max Stiffy, who's 16th. The checkered flag, these drivers go. Clausen is not going to be improving, I don't think. Cole Wilson is up to 6th on his final lap. Clausen is still 14th. Here's Kyron Wilson. Backs it down. He is 12th. Here's Richard Cherry. Final time to the stadium section for the driver of the 31. You're going to see him coming to the checkered flag here through the final few corners. Also got Matthew White behind him trying to run a little bit of a faster lap time. I think at least. No, Matthew is done. Not on the racetrack final. Maybe chance to knock Miller off pole for Cheery. Still a half second is the gap from White to Miller. Cheery goes to second, but still a half second down. But beats Matthew White. How about it? What an impressive lap time, though. And Ashton Miller looks like he is going to be on pole here for the inaugural race in Mexico City for the Grand National Series. What a lap by the driver of the 79. Incredible. Top of the board. Ready for this 30-lap race here in Mexico. All right. To our YouTube car of Cameron Chandler here still on the racetrack. Well, that will do it here in qualifying. Grand National Series has raced twice international before. Of course, both races were at Spa in the past. First race was won by Trenton Wilkins. Second race was won by Cameron Chandler. Who's going to win this one in Mexico City? Ashton Miller looks like he could be on his way to doing that, but still got a race to run. But he's half a second out in front, with Cheery leading him on the front row as well. Well, here we go. It's the first Grand National Series international race since season number 3. And for the first time, we are in Mexico from the Autodromo Hernandez Rodriguez here in Mexico City for race number 10 of the Grand National Series season. And on pole is Cup Series regular and such a great driver here in Mexico, Ashton Miller. On the outside of him will be Richard Cheery looking for his first win of the season. Matthew White, road course ringer, of course, full-time. The Cup Series will line up in third. Another part-time road course ringer, but not any full-time in the Cup Series. He is, of course, just part-time here in Grand National. It'll be Yair Rodriguez. Lining up in 5th place, Rockingham winner this season going to be Jacob Flurino. 6th, your winner in Charlotte last week and defending series champion Cole Wilson. Knox Thompson moved up to 3rd in points. He's now starts 7th. The hometown hero, Payson Lindsay, got his hometown crowd here, some of his family as well. Going to be starting in 8th. Christian Urquhart's your current points leader, starts 9th, and Gary Smith rounds out your top 10, and the rest of the top 20, and then the rest of the field is rolling across the left side of your screen. All right, Eli, what do you really expect for yourself personally in this race coming up?
I'm really just hoping to finish this race. As long as we finish, I honestly think we can do pretty well. Due to the fact that most people, honestly, on road courses, if you make one mistake on a road course, your day could be done, or it could be enough to where you can barely make the turns. So as long as you finish top 15, top 13, because people wrecking, I don't have to pace. As long as enough people wreck, I'll be okay with it.
We will see what happens tonight here in Mexico. The first ever Grand National Series race from Mexico City, the Autodromo Hernandez Rodriguez. We are so excited to get this one kicked off. 30 laps around Mexico City tonight. And it's going to be all green natural racing unless we have some sort of a massive wreck. Cautions aren't very likely here at a road course, but we will see. No halfway break, of course, for Grand National anymore. No stage points awarded at the halfway point either. Cars will roll off the grid. Behind that Ford Mustang pace car. But what a lap time by Ashton Miller. Half a second out in front. Absolutely incredible. So impressive by the driver of the 79 today. definitely is the one to beat. But you got drivers like Cheery, White there, second and third could beat him. Haven't talked about Rodriguez too much here, but starting in fourth, one of his select starts, of course, a road course ringer. Cole Wilson's so good in the road courses, starts sixth. You can't ever count out a driver like Payson Lindsay. We'll see what happens tonight. On the road course in Mexico. Of course, choose cone going to be down the back straight away at that wall opening like we pointed out earlier if we need it. 30 laps tonight. Of course, already get bonus points awarded for the pole. You also get bonus points for leading the most laps. Getting 0x probably isn't too possible at a road course, but you never know. And then, of course, points for finishing the race in whatever position you finish in. Now to race 10, points starting to get even more important in the Grand National Series as we, of course, now have 13 races left to go, including this one. So not quite halfway, but close to it. It's a beautiful day from Mexico City. And we have these Grand National cars ready to go for the first time ever. From the Autodromo Hermendos Rodriguez. Such a beautiful facility. Fans are packed into this place. They're excited to see the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League in general here. They're hoping to see a cup race here one day, but the Grand National Series is a great start. The second road course race of the year. Sonoma, of course, was won by Matthew White, who starts third. Ashton Miller, one-time winner in Grand National all the way back in Season 2 at Michigan. So it's been a little bit since Miller last went to Grand National Series victory lane. Can he do it tonight? It is a picture-perfect day here in Mexico. And the Grand National Series is ready to get kicked off here for the first time ever. Ashton Miller, so quick in practice and qualifying. On the front row with Richard Cheery, another great road course racer. Who's going to host the trophy for the first time ever in Mexico City? We will see after 30 laps tonight. That pace car going to make eventually that turn down to pit road. The first ever Grand National Series race here from Mexico City is green and underway. Jostling for positions as they head back into turn one, the hard braking zone. Cheery had a terrible start. They are 3 and 4 wide as they head to the turn number 1. Who will survive? Oh, Rodriguez gets hit. He spins. Clarino goes around as well. They make contact. Another car goes off. That was Knox Thompson. Gary Smith is around. In the 5 car, more damage. Around goes Cole Clausen. An insane start here. My goodness, but they all get back going here. We're going to stay green. Up front, you got...
This track ahead.
Oh! Big wreck. Not really sure where it went.
And the caution's out.
Yellow is out for the rest of... There it is. Okay. Finally got a bangle of it. It's Payson Lindsay, the hometown driver, in the wall. Wow. The yellow flag is out on lap number 1. I was saying maybe no yellows tonight. I was dead wrong. Let's see what happens here on the opening lap. Oh my, so here is Payson Lindsay. Oh, Herglass just comes back on the racetrack. We didn't get a good angle of this live and spins him out. And then they're in the middle of the racetrack. Oh, McMillan gets hit. You see Gatlin Downey there as well. Oh man, McMillan takes a hard shot into the wall. And that just, his bad luck continues. Wow. And I believe McMillan and Herglass have both reset to pit road. Wow. Unbelievable. We got to take a better angle of this. It's very hard to see. Let's look in the turn 1. This is a terrible angle. Sorry. I don't know what this is from above. But, yeah, let's look through this. So they're just 3 and 4 wide down on turn 1. It was just contact all around. You see 31, 32, 23 runs over the 33, and then they kind of just come together all around here. It's so unfortunate here on lap 1 in this race. I mean, you just cannot make this stuff up. And then I want to ride along with, I think, Ethan McMillan through this accident. Very unfortunate for him. Oh, he dodges the first wreck, and then I don't know what Herklotz is doing, to be honest. Just comes back up and destroys Mason Lindsay, and then McMillan, just nowhere to go. And he gets loose, and then there he goes, hard on the wall, down the front straightaway. Oh, there's Clausen, he just avoids it. We apologize for not having the greatest of angles here immediately, and Christian Herklotz has just already retired from this race. Wow, that's your points leader entering. That is huge. Okay, well, lap 1 was chaotic already here in Mexico. What a way to start this
one.
We
called that out early on. I think I saw it front, they go like 4 or 5 wide. I figured it was not going to end well, so I literally just backed down and just watched mayhem occur.
I mean, yeah, what a insane start. We got cars on pit road. There's Gatlin down. He is already smoking. One retiree already was Christian Herklotz. Of course, not the way he needed to start this race, Christian. I mean, this is worst case scenario for him. Well, first caution of the day is already out here at Mexico City, and Aston Miller still, though, leads the race. Cheery, who started second, of course, got spun out there, back to 13th. Not a good start at all for the driver of the 31, as he'll have some work to do. Luckily, he got minimal damage, though, on his race car.
You gotta watch, like, obviously, Richard Cherry, guys that got wrecked and fell back, you gotta watch them, because they're really good at this track, good lap times. They can send it even to the corners. The guys in front of him, I would say, aren't the greatest, but they're more conservative about how they enter corners. So you could see maybe like Richard Cherry do what they normally do in braking zone, but there's guys that take it way more conservative. We could see maybe another wreck, but hopefully we could bring it.
Yeah, I mean, they were really aggressive down into turn 1. First restart ever here, first initial start ever, I should say. I mean, you called it, Eli, even in the warm-up session that we could see something like that, and man, I didn't expect it to be that big. We had 2 separate wrecks, and one was from your points leader rejoining the racetrack in a pretty unfortunate position. All right, so once again, Chus is not down the front straightaway. It is, from the one to go here, it is down where the wall is. I believe we're coming to one to go. So Gatlin Downey, unfortunately, has retired from this race. We got cars on pit road and Cherry. Oh, Eli crashes on pit road. What happens?
I was going to my pit stall. I think my day's done. I'm smoking. I got turned in the pit road. Yep, I'm done.
Are you serious? Well, let's look here. So right in front of Rodriguez. Oh, wow. I mean, this has just been a wild start to this race. Unbelievable. He's rolling. Is it smoking? I can't tell. Oh, it is.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, it's smoking. So I guess that'll probably be it. I'll just roll back down pit road next time and just call it a day and guess join the booth.
Wow. What an unfortunate way to start this race for a lot of drivers already. Unreal. Christian Herklotz, especially your points there. We got 1 to go here to the restart, by the way. It's an unbelievable start to this race, and now we got this. McMillan is going to try to repair his damage and try to get back on the track here. He needs those points after losing the points lead a few races ago and falling even further back. Can't afford now to finish outside the top 20 again. Let's hope this restart is a little bit cleaner than the initial start of the race. It'll be on lap 4. Coming to the Chus this time by. Alrighty. So, absolutely chaotic way to start this race. We maybe expected some chaos down into turn 1, lap 1, but maybe not the magnitude we saw. I didn't expect to already see, what now, 4 cars out of the race, maybe? And one, of course, Eli crashes on pit road. 3 cars out of the race so far. No, 2 cars technically out of the race. Coming to the choose. Here is Miller. White goes bottom. That'll get front row to Cole Wilson here. Somebody just blew up, I think.
That was.
Nope. So that means 3 cars out of the race now. Unfortunate. Jacob Clarina, of course, he also got damaged from that opening wreck. As we get ready to go here once again in Mexico City. Let's try this again. All right, gonna be on lap 4. Ashton Miller, Cole Wilson now in the front row. Well, outside, the not bottom lane didn't get the greatest of jumps last time, so we'll see what Cole Wilson can do on this restart. Back to green, a little bit better than the cheery before. As we go back underway in Mexico City, Cole Wilson actually able to keep it side by side with Miller. Turn 1 was the trouble spot last time. Let's see what happens this time as they got to get back on the brakes. Door to door for the lead. Here's Miller. Going to try to run Cole Wilson a little bit wide. They're definitely a lot cleaner for now. Back into turn 1. Side by side for the lead. Wilson on the outside. Miller going to try to squeeze him wide, and he will clear that 22 car. But Wilson clears Matthew White as well. So far, a net gain for that 22 machine. Hiram Wilson, a big send down to the inside on Knox Thompson in that 23 car. So far, clear. Oh, we got a car off. That's 12 Max Diffie. He goes off the racetrack, gets back on it. No harm, no foul there. So far, mostly clean throughout the pack. First side-by-side battle is Thompson battling with Wilson for 4th. Thompson goes way wide. Oh, got to be careful to hit the barrier there. Oh, contact! Knox Thompson spins in front of Tobin, who gets collected. Sitting in the middle of the track, gets it back going again, but has damage. What happened to Knox Thompson as well? I don't think he has too much going on with this race car. It looks okay, I think. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. Man, what a chaotic start to this race, though. Good Lord. And a brand new racetrack for Grand National drivers as well. It's the perfect recipe for a pretty chaotic race. We will complete the first lap at least under green. Up front, top 3 have already just pulled away. Miller leads Wilson, who leads White. And here comes Wilson down to the inside on Ashton Miller. He drives it way deep into the corner, has to pluck up and go way off into the grass. He's going to have to let these two go, obviously. Miller now has pressure from Matthew White. He'll have a slowdown penalty, and he's going to have to let at least Miller go. White's going to be down to his inside. Wilson makes the block. Man. And he's going to fall back, and here comes White into the inside of Ashton Miller. Side by side for the lead. And he's got the lead now. What a move by the 88 car. Taking it away from Miller.
Oh, wrecking back here, Messi. He gets turned.
Oop. Somewhere in the back. There he is, the 12. He gets it back going again. The same trouble spot he had the last time. Oh, Matthew White goes around! What just happened? Oh my goodness, we gotta see what happens. Miller on the bumper of White. Oh, he just turned him. Misjudged it and spins the 88. Unreal. And White now back to 7th. Oh my goodness. What a way to start this race. You've seen chaos just about everywhere, and it's not over yet. Youngblood to the inside of the 51 at USG's. For 9th. Contact, Knox Thompson roughing up Jacob Clarino. Got Cole Clausen as well back there. So I don't know if you looked, Eli, but what was the fuel window looking like before you, unfortunately, you had to retire?
Yeah, they told me I was good. But I don't know how these tires are, because, you know, already people struggling with new tires. Can't imagine fixing lap old tires.
Yeah, that should be pretty interesting to watch as this race goes on. And here we go. Miller, I'm sorry, that's Cheery side by side with White for a 6th, whereas White got spun out by Ashton Miller. Now he's going to try to regain his track. And he will do that by passing Cheery. Bit of a lock up there by Payson Lindsay, who currently runs P5. Rodriguez and Smith battling for 4th or 3rd. Having a start for Gary Smith up to P3 already. He's got Diego, I'm sorry, not Diego. Yair Rodriguez all over his back bumper. Rodriguez makes a crossover move back to the inside to take that spot away. Oh, he gets loose, slides back into the corner after a bit of a lockup. Loses more time and has to fall back, and we got a battle for the lead starting to heat up. Now Ashton Miller has recaught that 22 of Cole Wilson. Cole Wilson, of course, looking for 2 in a row after winning in Charlotte last week. Ashton Miller is definitely hot on his tail with a little bit faster race car so far. He's become the lap 7 here in Mexico City. Hard on the brakes, down into turn 1 yet again. Top 2 nose to tail with each other's. 5th, 3rd place currently Gary Smith. 4th, Yair Rodriguez. Here we go, battle for 5th between Payson Lindsay and Matthew White. White's all over the back bumper of that 7 car, the hometown driver. White will look down to the inside on Lindsay. They're side by side as they head back into 4. The sweeping right-hander, and he will look to have that spot clear. No, Lindsay back to his inside. A good drive off corner exits coming to the S's will clear Matthew White to P5. Now Cherry on the bumper of Lindsay for 6th. He goes outside. He was going to take a bit advantage of Lindsay sliding and will take that spot away. Lindsay losing 2 spots in just a couple of corners, back to 7th. And up front, the battle for the lead is on between Miller and Wilson. Of course, like Eli said, pretty good on fuel, but on tires, are they good? And Miller sees that 22 slide. Wilson, though, still leads this race. Honestly shocked Ashton Miller hasn't been able to get by Cole Wilson just yet. He's definitely been the faster race car, just hasn't found a way around him yet. Maybe trying to save his stuff early in the race still. On his bumper, though, pressuring him for the lead.
What he could be doing here is just staying behind him, making Cole Wilson burn stuff up, make him push.
I mean, yeah, that could be another thing as he looks to the inside, door to door. Oh, man, almost contact. Trying to get to his inside.
Matthew White going for 4th.
That is for before between him and Rodriguez, a little bit of contact with these 2. White, of course, trying to drive his way back through the field. Might not be too happy with Ashton Miller after that one. Matthew White there to the inside of Rodriguez for that 4th spot. He goes a little bit wide, and White's going to be hot on his tail through the stadium section. They go to the inside on that 95, who locks up the brakes a little bit. Side by side, almost contact through the stadium section. Coming to the final 2 corners. Still door to door. Rodriguez has the inside lane and might actually clear Matthew White. He'll pinch him off and get back out in front. Goes way wide, nearly to the grass off corner exit. White's going to be back to the inside fighting again. He'll move way down low. Rodriguez makes a huge block. White will now try the top. Cherry's watching this battle, maybe liking what he sees in front of him. White all over the back bumper of that 95 car. Still hasn't found a way around him. White goes nearly to the wall. They're catching Gary Smith ahead of them. And up front for the lead, it's still about 0.4 of a second the gap between Wilson and Miller. Rodriguez locks up again into the sweeping right-hander. White is obviously quicker, but still cannot find a way around him. White now actually sliding around a little bit as Rodriguez tries to pull back away. Four-way now battle for about third place. Here's a big stride bomb to the inside. Now Rodriguez actually gets to the inside of Smith in the 5. White's there on the 95's bumper. More contact between the three of them. Here is White to the inside of Rodriguez. Now even almost Gary Smith. He's clear in the 95. Cheering out of the inside of that Rodriguez machine as they head down the front straightaway yet again. Still all behind that 5 car of Gary Smith, who I think they're all faster than. See how much Gary Smith has to defend with here as Rodriguez actually moving back down to the inside on Matthew White. Contact as they head back at a 1. White goes wide, has to go into the grass here. Gonna have to give up some time. He'll definitely have to let Smith go. Not really sure if he's gonna have to let Rodriguez go. I don't think he will. He might not be too happy though with Jair Rodriguez after that one. They're falling down 9 seconds back in the leaders after all this hard racing. They were just only a few seconds a couple of laps ago. Now they are just racing their hearts out, and they have lost the lead pack. Between Wilson and Miller, who are just about to battle for the lead. Miller, though, still kind of seems content behind that 22 car. Rodriguez back on the bumper of Matthew White. He's kind of getting roughed around in this race so far. Contact with Ashton Miller. Now Rodriguez back to his inside yet again. Oh, and he gets spun for the second time in this race. Matthew White goes around yet again. This time, contact from that 95 car, and he has got to be furious. Back to 7th.
As you say, that
again.
we have a change for the lead. Ashton Miller passes Cole Wilson for the lead.
And he was waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally makes his move. Back out in front goes Ashton Miller, but Cole Wilson has not given up just yet. Blocking him all the way down to the inside. What kind of dive bomb will Cole Wilson have? He's going to try to do something. Looking again to the inside of Miller. He is there. He slides into the brakes. Has to back out of it. Miller now has the lead. Oh, yeah, no. Back here now, you see Gary Smith. I don't know how he's still 3rd. Cherry is now in 4th after Matthew White got spun out back to 7th. The wall a little bit goes that 5 machine. Go through the field a little bit more. You got Wyatt Youngblood strongly in 8th. Jacob Luna currently runs 9th. Kyron Wilson battling with Davy and Tobin for 10th. You got Uchis, another little pack here. And at 51 and 11th place. 12th place is Max Thompson. 13th, Cole Clausen. 14th, Max Stiffy. Here's Aiden Slidham. Pete Shelton, I believe, just came down pit road. And here we go for the lead between Miller and Cole Wilson. I believe Miller down, just trying to pull away with 20 laps to go in Mexico City. Been a pretty insane and pretty solid race so far, I'd have to say. The racing has been pretty good on the racetrack all the way around. But Matthew White probably cannot say the same. Once he gets back to Rodriguez, if he does get back to that 95 car, I think he's going to have something to say to him with his bumper. Cheery now pressuring Smith for what is 3rd place. They are now 11 seconds back on their leader, Ashton Miller. That's how hard they've been racing. Back in a 1, will at 31 make his move? We'll see. No, Cheery stays in line. Actually, no, he does drop to the inside on Smith. For 3rd place. Smith runs the inside, trying to cover him off. He goes wide once again, but Cheery is there. Rodriguez down to the inside of Cheery as well. Rodriguez has been pretty aggressive with some of these league regulars so far. Of course, he's making his first start in the league this season. Only one other start at Watkins Glen in the Grand National Series back in season 4. He's going to run off the racetrack a little bit. This time gives Cheery a little bit more room than he gave Matthew White, and Cheery back clear on that 95 machine. But again, they're still losing more time on Gary Smith, who I don't know how he's been able to hold this 3rd place for so long. but I don't know how much longer he's going to last there. Happened to Ashton Miller up front real quick. Looking where he is, I don't know what happened. He lost a bunch of time to Cole Wilson. Some sort of a slide there off corner exit, I believe. Now Cole Wilson down to his inside for the lead. Wilson aggressively down low, side by side through one. Yeah, Miller had some sort of slide off the final corner, lost him a lot of momentum down the front straightaway. Here comes Wilson. He is there to his inside. Wilson will clear for the lead. How about that? Miller back to second. I mean, I don't know what happened to him. Just lost a couple of tenths somehow. And now Miller has back to second. He's on the bumper of the 22 yet again. Definitely is still faster. But will he be able to get back around him?
Matthew White's now on the back bumper. It's 95, so we'll see if any retaliation, or is he just going to try to race clean?
He had a couple of battles in the wall. Goes Ashton Miller. Wilson then goes wide onto the rumble strips there. Here's a crossover back to the inside. He blocks him off. Great battle for the lead now. After the mistake by Miller. Gonna look. Here is Cherry on the bumper of that 5 car. Oh, he spun him out. He spun out Rodriguez. Let's see what happened real quick. Oh, yep, that's exactly what it looked like. Wow. I would say unbelievable, but it's pretty believable. Rodriguez now back to 8th. Lindsay slides off corner exit as they battle for a third between Cherry and Smith. And up front, Miller has not been able to run down. Miller's not been able to run down Wilson at the front of the field. Yeah, Rodriguez may be looking for a fresh set of tires. Of course, they're all good on the end with fuel, but tires is a different circumstance there. A lot of drivers have been racing very hard early in the race, burning up their stuff. Miller all up the back bumper of Cole Wilson.
Maybe shocked you of Cole Wilson. When Ashton Miller passed him, I was thinking that Ashton Miller is just going to take away. His Miller is now on the inside to go for the lead.
Side by side once again through the stadium section. Wilson, though, covers him off yet again. I mean, Miller just made that mistake after having a second lead, lost it all, and got passed by that 22 car. But definitely has the pace to repass him. Of course, cars on pit road, there's the 34. Also got White Yellow getting service.
Cherry's now third.
And Cherry gets the spot. He clears, finally clears Gary Smith. I don't know how that 5 car held on the third for so long. Really impressive by him.
And now White goes for the pace.
Rodriguez back on the racetrack here. I would hope he doesn't get payback again on Matthew White, but you never know. Now a lap down. Oh, he's gonna, not really sure what he's doing down into turn 1. He goes way wide off the racetrack. My goodness, obviously on cold tires. Didn't heat up so well. We got a battle for the lead. Here comes Miller, though, back on the inside of Cole Wilson. Miller that makes a bit of a mistake through the S's. This is going to kill his next few corners. Because now you're offline and you're sliding around, burning up your stuff. Yeah, you can see how he's losing time, going wide, and man, that loss of about over half a second. Starting to catch a lap car, he didn't slide him. All right, now we want to look back here on Rodriguez. He's falling back to Matthew White. He was side by side and turning. Payson Lindsay, who actually saves it. Wow, what of a save by that 7 car of Lindsay. Incredible.
I don't have a good feeling here in this 95.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope he doesn't do anything. I mean, he kind of had it coming with him spinning out Matthew White. I think they're even now, to be honest, if I would say so myself. If I was the one calling this battle, but I'm not. We'll see. Maybe these two go. Ooh, White all the way down to the inside, though, on that 7 car. Oh, he's not too happy, though, with Matthew White. He's going to, Jesus, okay.
This is not going to end well.
Let's hope nothing happens down here in a turn. What are we doing? Sorry. Oh, contact! He gets him loose! White saves it! He's going to remake contact with the 95 car. They make contact again! Oh, my goodness! Rodriguez pushes him off the track. Into the grass goes Matthew White. Wow. Insane scenes here in Mexico City.
I know if Matthew White gets a chance, if he gets any closer in turn 1, he will oversend it and just nuke him out of the way again.
I wouldn't be too much surprised if he did that. Miller is still all over the back bumper of Cole Wilson. These two have been nose to tail for the lead all race long. Miller has still not been able to repass him.
Now we have a battle. Looks like Matthew White is now getting by pace side by side.
This is for 5th. Lindsay's still trying to cover him off. White is definitely driving pretty furious right now. More contact, though, as they head through the stadium section. We're over halfway in this race here in Mexico City. Been a wild one so far. Looking back, here's Cherry in 3rd. They, of course, this 3rd place pack that had about 4 to 5 cars lost so much time to the leaders with all their battling they were doing, and the leaders just running pretty single file and nice and tidy. But here comes Miller back in the bumper of Cole Wilson. And again, I think he messes the S's up a little bit. No, it actually looks okay. A little bit offline. Oh, contact! Around goes the 22! He'll save it technically. Didn't go fully around, but contact between him and Ashton Miller. Wow. And really only lost about 8
Matthew
to
White's
9
with
tenths.
95 now.
What?
Matthew White's
God.
next to 95.
Oh! Contact! And around goes the 95 of Rodriguez into the wall.
Payson Lindsay's
out.
in the wall. He overshot the corner.
Oh, somebody just disconnected the... Okay. What happened to Payson? There he goes. Okay, it's too much to work around here. We also got the battle for the lead starting to heat up again. Side by side, Cole Wilson got to the inside of Miller. And he's going to try to retake this spot again. What is Ashton Miller doing? He just cannot hold the lead. Contact between the leaders. I don't think Cole Wilson's very happy with Miller. After that, they made contact and nearly spun out the 22. Wilson now clearing Ashton Miller. So much going on the track right now. It's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, watch here. These guys keep battling like they are. You gotta watch out for Richard Cherry here. Maybe not to close up, but if these guys tell them to spinning or slow each other down, you gotta watch Richard Cherry here.
He's only 8 seconds back. He was 11 seconds a few laps ago. That's a good point. Miller, though, back to his inside on his bumper. Of course, these leaders outside of this have been just clean and green all day long, pulling away from the field. But now Cherry might be in a pretty good spot to try to close up. Here's Miller back to the inside on Wilson again, and they're going to make contact back through the stadium section. Wilson over the curb side by side. This is only allowing that 31 to close back up again door to door as they head to the final corner slideways. There's both of them. Miller goes over the curbs and nearly into the grass and is clear on that 22 car yet again. But what will Wilson be willing to do back into turn 1? Into the braking zone they go yet again.
Yeah, but these two battle. Rich Cherry just gained 2.5 seconds that lap.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty significant for the driver of the 31. Ooh, here comes that 22 again. Here comes Cole Wilson to the inside of Ashton Miller. He is not giving up. They get through turn 3. He is trying to get there, but cannot get to his inside just yet. Miller covers him off for now. What a battle for the lead. What a battle all day long throughout this pack.
Oh, and Payson Lindsay gets turned by the 23.
And around goes Kyron Wilson. Again, there's contact. And nearly to the barriers goes that 23 car. Lindsay gets it back going again in the 7. Let's take a look at what happened. Rodriguez, by the way, was disqualified. That's how he got removed. Oh, Wilson just turns him. Wow. And DeFilippi, again, that's the 3rd time he's been involved in a crash through here. Gets more contact with all of that. And Payson is not having a very good homecoming. Looking on pit road, some other cars. McMillan's still sitting there, hasn't dropped back on the racetrack yet. Leaders coming 11 to go this time by. Miller now leads Wilson by 0.4 of a second. We know that gap isn't safe whatsoever. They've had a great battle all day long, and Cheery's still now at 8.4 seconds back. Not too much of a gain on that lap time by.
I watch Payson Lindsay here. He's next to the 23 here. Oh, he's going to turn Payson Lindsay again.
What on earth are they doing? I don't know what Kyron Wilson's doing right now.
I'll assume his day's probably about to be over as he's now trying to give him a Maxi Filippi. But Payson Lindsay gets back there. It'll be no fun for the 23.
Wilson out of the bumper. Oh, he's going to nearly turn DeFilippi. What is he doing? My goodness. I mean,
Payson Lindsay's coming down pit road, so his day could be over.
I don't know, maybe just trying to get these tires off his race car. They're
and
probably pretty hot.
He was crazy over the radio. Using slurs that we cannot say.
Oh. Here is Kyron Wilson to the inside of DeFilippi, who covers him off for now.
Actually, Filippi's just blocking him at this point. He's trying to be a roadblock, which I don't blame because of previous incidents that Maxi Filippi was not his fault.
Yeah, by the way,
Wilson. So he is a big roadblock.
Diffie's 2 laps down right now, by the way. So he is, yeah, he's not.
It's Danny Hamlin, Ross Chastain all over again.
This race has had just about everything. My goodness, we still have 11 to go, and the battle for the lead could be heating up yet again between Miller and Wilson.
Yeah, brake checks. They'll go down to 20 miles an hour into the point. He's just brake checking at this point.
He goes wide. Yeah, I'm obviously 12 not racing for anything anymore. 2 laps down. Just trying to make the 23's days miserable. He's going to go to the inside of DeFilippi. They make no, they don't make contact. I thought they did. And he's re-clear. Oh, but he moves him out of the way.
Yeah, I can't imagine what's about to happen here.
He might give him a bit of a shunt.
Yeah,
oh, my goodness. Tempers are flaring here in Mexico City. A go, and he turns him. Around goes Diffie. And we'll have to let Cole Clausen go once he's going to hopefully fire it back up again. Not really sure what he's doing. Payson here on fresher tires, of course. 10 to go. Gap is now 0.7 of a second between Ashton Miller and Cole Wilson for the lead. Cherry still 8.2 seconds back.
I'm telling you, Cherry's catching up. Like you said, he is catching up. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in this battle, but at the end of this, how much the fits here. Already chose lap times on battling.
I mean, but I've looked the last couple of laps. It hasn't been the greatest of gains for him. So, I don't know. But man, this race has just been really, really fun to watch. Coming to 9 laps to go. We still got decent ways to go. I mean, 9 laps doesn't sound like a lot, but at a road course like this, it is a lot. here comes Cole Wilson behind Ashton Miller down the front straightaway. As they again will make that hard braking zone package down into turn 1. Wilson pretty aggressive over those curbs. Also got a battle for about 4th between Matthew White and Jacob Clarina. That could be heating up pretty soon. But up front is our main focus. There's Cheery. Still a little bit further back on these top 2, but now 7.8 seconds, so he is still gaining on these first and second place cars.
Lap. And these two are not battling right now. They're just following each other, and Cherry's still gaining. So if they get him battling again, he gets like those 2 seconds he did for 2 straight laps. He could be right in this.
Look around the beautiful Mexico City. As Miller going a little bit wide there. Wilson could be battling with him yet again pretty soon. He's there to his outside. Battle for the lead yet again. He is there side by side through the stadium section. Miller's going to try to push him out wide. He will do just that contact between these top 2. Wilson there again to his inside. Almost contact once more. Wilson slides. Miller going to try to get a good drive off corner exit here. And 8 to go this time by. See how aggressively Miller will defend. Back into turn 1. Wilson's going to be looking, not going to send it in there though. They're catching lap traffic. First car going to be Max Diffie, who, by the way, is teammates to Cole Wilson. Diffie will get out of the way for both moves. Through the S's they go yet again. These two have been so good up front all day long. Cheery the gap now 7.5 seconds. It would not at this pace be enough to catch these top 2. But who knows what could happen. We've seen contact for the lead on the final lap. Maybe these two spin each other out with 1 to go. Cheery's there to grab it. Who knows? Still a lot of racing left to go here in Mexico City. Coming to 7 laps remaining this time by. See Miller go wide on the curbs, riding along with Cole Wilson. Here's a big dive to the inside, contact almost a little bit between these top 2. Tires are hot, drivers are hot, track's hot. Fans are probably pretty hot too, but they got a great show on the racetrack right now here at Mexico City. Who is going to take this victory? We still do not know. Cole Wilson, I'm shocked that 79 Miller has not been able to drive off. He's been by far the fastest car all race long, or all practice long, all through qualifying, half a second better than anyone. Cole Wilson really wasn't anywhere, 17th in practice. And here he is looking outside. Actually, this is, I think, the inside lane. There he is, the inside of the 79 Miller once again. Miller going to try to get a good run off corner exit, but Wilson drives it deep into the corner and clears him. How about that? New leader once again is Cole Wilson. He is not giving up. Again, all this battling continues to allow Cheery to close that gap up. He's all by himself in 3rd. The stadium section they go yet again. Miller's going to have to try to find a way back around that 22 machine. Cole Wilson looking for back-to-back wins after getting his first one of the season in Charlotte last week, which would be his 3rd career Grand National win on a road course. His 3rd unique road course he would win at. Watkins Glen and Portland his other 2. But Ashton Miller hot on his tail, winless streak in Grand National dating back to Season 2 in Michigan. Nearly 2 calendar years ago in real life. I'm shocked. Oh, he's in the wall a little bit. I was going to say, I'm shocked that, of course, Miller hasn't been able to repass him, but here he is to the inside once again. Door-to-door through turns 3. This is where Wilson made his move earlier on Miller, and now Miller can't do the same. Back on Cole Wilson. Through the S's. Definitely now in the late stages of this race. No more tire saving. It's go time here in Mexico City. I don't know how much tires even left to save for these leaders. They have been pushing hard all race long.
If we have had a battle for about the past like 3 or 4 laps, I've been watching between Matthew by Joe Polino. It's been a really good battle as been battling so much. Dalvey and Tobin's come into the picture for trying to get a top 5.
Now Matthew White clear on Clarino for 5th place, but Clarino back to the outside swinging there in that 33. Oh, what is sideways? Trying to hang on that car. He has got damage on his 88 machine. It's been a rough day for Matthew White. Oh man, he's loose. Here comes Clarino back to the outside again. And Tobin there, a big move to the inside, 3 wide almost. Into the braking zone. White goes wide, Clarino goes wide. Here comes Tobin. 3 wide. Man, what a battle for P5. White cannot hang on to his race car right now. Tobin is there to P6, Clarino back to 7th, and Matthew White is P5 currently. Oh, but he is just deadly loose. And Tobin's got another run coming down this front straightaway to the outside. Look at Tobin to look for P5 in battle with the lead real quick, though. Between Ashton Miller, he's there to the inside, and look at a clear Cole Wilson. He'll do that again. Miller back out front with 5 to go. Made his move back in turn 3 like Wilson did to him a few laps ago. Battle back here once again. Tobin clear on White, who is back in 6th, Clarino back in 7th. Going to be back on the bumper of Matthew White. Up front, the gap now just about half a second, I believe. Miller is trying to drive off. Can he finally do that and not make a mistake?
I wonder if it'd be better to be honest and be in P2 going through these on this final lap. As long as you're close enough to the bumper, I'm not saying like an Austin Dillon, but a little bit of a bumper, and you send them a little deep into the corner and go under them, could win you the race. So honestly, being P2 situation is not bad as long as you're close enough to the bumper.
I mean, we've already seen contact between these two in this race, so it's not out of the question. And if there is contact, both of them have issues. Jerry is there to pounce back in 3rd. Something's spinning. No, there's just Pace and Lindsay going slowly. Unfortunate.
Wow, that's something about Matthew White. He just decides to not take the corner.
Oh. Where is he?
It was going through, before you go right through the front straightaways past left, he decided to not take the corner and cut it very short, but he's on pit road, so I don't know if his day's done. I assume, maybe. Yeah, he decided to call it a day. He hit the wall,
wow.
So yeah, his day's done.
Yeah, not a good day at all for Matthew White. Very unfortunate, and he's going to park it a couple of laps early. Obviously not racing for Point City Grand National full-time in the Cup Series, so going to have to take the trip early to Bristol, but Cole Wilson is back on the bumper of that 79 of Miller. How about a 3 to go this time by? I mean, I'm just shocked. Miller hasn't been able to drive off his slides. So does Cole Wilson. 3 laps remaining in Mexico City. The battle is still on for the win between Ashton Miller and Cole Wilson. Of course, Cup Series regulars take up 3 of the top 5 spots. The only non-regulars, only regulars in the Cups in the Grand National Series, are Cole Wilson in 2nd, Rich Cherry in 3rd. You got Clarino 6th, Thompson 7th, Wilson 8th, Boston 9th for the other regulars currently. Can that 22 Wilson get back to the bumper of Ashton Miller, maybe rough him up a little bit, maybe try to pass him cleanly, hopefully. Trying to go for his 2nd straight Grand National win. Ooh, Ashton Miller trying to break a 3-season winless streak in Grand National. How aggressive will he be in that 22 car? Wilson's got to keep it close to Ashton Miller if he wants to have a chance. About 2 laps to go this time by. The Autodromo Jimenez Rodriguez.
You have to go watch in front of these leaders. Payson and Lindsay's putting down some lap times, and he is catching the 23. So hopefully he doesn't do it, but this is getting close to these leaders and could affect the lead.
Yeah, they're on 3 to go right now. There is Kyron Wilson battling for 8th with Cole Clausen right now, and then of course Payson Lindsay on fresh tires right there in the 7 car. He's definitely pretty furious. And there are the leaders right behind them. Hopefully they do it when they're coming to 1 to go and the leaders already took the checkered flag. That would be the best spot to do that. Hopefully they just don't do it at all, actually. That's the best situation. That time by Cole Wilson now about a half second back on Ashton Miller. Been a great battle for the lead between these two all day long. Been a fantastic inaugural race here in Mexico City for the Grand National Series. This one has had action all over the place. And will we see a final lap battle for the win? We're going to find out pretty soon. Here is, of course, Lindsay catching Kyron Wilson. Next, if he goes wide, they know the leaders are right behind them. They come to the stadium section yet again. All right, here they come. Gonna see the white flag this time by. Does Cole Wilson have anything left for Ashton Miller? 1 lap to go in Mexico City. The gap, about 0.6 of a second. Even further back now for Cole Wilson. He lost a couple of tenths there in the last few corners. Final time down the front straightaway. And back into turn 1.
Oh, do we got back in front of the leaders? Okay, he's off.
That's Diffie around. Oh, God. They got to be careful here. Diffie right in front of the leaders. He will get out of the way. And here is Miller. Final time through turns 1 and 2. Wilson still about half second back. Kyron Wilson got passed, by the way, by Payson Lindsay. Oh! Payson goes wide, though, and Wilson gets back around him. This is pretty interesting. Okay.
Can you turn him? Oh, please don't break it in front of the leaders.
Yeah, I know. Well, final lap here. Through the S's to go for the final time. Ashton Miller, like we said, looking to break that long winless streak. But Cole Wilson is there on his bumper. Once again. He'll have one final shot. Miller goes wide. Final time down the back straightaway. Wilson looking to the inside. He is there on Ashton Miller. Here they come through the stadium section one last time. He drives it in deep. Contact's made. Final time through the stadium section. Miller trying to hold on. Wilson crossover. Contact again. Door to door. Here they come. Final few quarters. Wilson gets run wide to the wall. He is back down low. Here they come. Contact once again. They slide. Coming to the checkered flag. Here they come. Oh my goodness. Who's going to get it? I think. Coming to the line. I think Miller got it. Unreal. Second straight photo finish in Grand National. And Ashton Miller this time comes out on top. Unbelievable. Your winner in Mexico City. What a finish. He will burn it down. Of course, Cole Wilson was involved in a photo finish last week in Charlotte. Between him and Cameron Chandler. He came out on top that time, but this time it's Ashton Miller winning in Mexico City for the first time ever. What a race. He breaks his 3-season winless streak. Goes back to Grand National victory lane. Unbelievable. What a day. What a race. Drivers come to the finish here. Across the line. Ashton Miller continues to burn it down. We're going to have to take another angle at that. I want to get it from a sideways angle to the checker flag. There we got it from the kind of the back end. We still saw them door to door, of course. Unbelievable. I'm speechless. 2 photo finishes in a row, both involving Cole Wilson. One time he comes out on top, the other time, this time he doesn't. And it's Ashton Miller winning. The first time this season in Grand National. I'm just, wow. What a race. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, Eli, you gotta agree with me, I'm assuming, like, oh my goodness. Okay. Anyways, you gotta agree with me, I'm assuming that was a just mind-blowingly insane race.
That was great. That's, never would I think a road course would be 6/1000th of a second for a finish. If you told me going into this weekend that would have a 6/1000th of a second finish, I think it would be at Bristol. I don't think it would be at a road course.
I mean, yeah, that was a thrilling race, an incredible one, and Ashton Miller goes to victory lane.
He got a feel for Cole Wilson too. He kept with Ashton Miller. We thought Ashton Miller going into this race being almost 5/10 quicker in practice, qualifying, everything. And Cole Wilson hung on the whole race, barely be in front of him, be right behind him. When Ashton Miller passed him, we all thought he's just going to pull in. But no, Cole Wilson stayed in the whole race. So you have to give credit to Cole Wilson for just hanging in there.
I'm shocked that Miller's still being able to do his burnouts here. After getting destroyed, now he blows the motor. Unbelievable, though. What a race in Mexico City. The inaugural race here, I mean, I don't even know what to say. One of the greatest road course races we might have ever seen. That was fantastic. It had just about everything. Great battle for the lead, great battles all throughout the pack behind the leaders. We had beef throughout the pack. We had opening lap wreck. We had tire sliding. We had tire wear, tire management. And an incredible photo finish. I mean, what more could you ask for? That was insane. What a way to end this one. And what a race. Let's look at the final lap. I think we're going to real quick look at the margin of victory, because that's definitely something I want to take a look at here between Miller and Cole Wilson. It was just about as close as you can get.
Thousandths of a second.
I mean, yeah, we'll get a good angle here. That is your margin of victory. Unbelievable. Just mind-blowing. I'm pretty sure the start... Yeah, there it is. That is inches. Let's look the final lap through one of these camera angles. Let's look through here. So it just started off. So Wilson somehow got to the inside of Ashton Miller coming to the stadium section for the final time, impressively enough. Kyron Wilson and Payson Lindsay, I don't know what they were doing ahead of them. Door-to-door, final time through the stadium. You see a crossover move down to the inside. Contact, this is where I thought Miller was going to go wide. Somehow stayed there and then pushed Wilson wide, who then backed out of the gas to make another crossover move down to the inside on that 79 to Miller. They were door-to-door, it's just sliding, contact being made. Just all men for themselves here at this point. Door-to-door, coming to the checkered flag. That's how close it was. What a finish. Unreal. What a race here in Mexico City. One for the ages. We're going to have post-race interviews coming up here from Mexico City after just a absolutely mind-bogglingly wild race.
Just to put that in perspective, that's the 10th closest finish in NASCAR history, if that was in NASCAR, 6/1000ths of a second. And to get out of road course is just...
After what, like over 25 laps of straight green flag running here after the caution, that's what you get at a road course that's this long in Mexico City, over 2 miles. That's mind-blowing. All right, well, post-race interviews here coming up, of course, with your winner, Ashton Miller first. Ashton Miller, what a finish! What a win! Your first Grand National win since Season 2 in Michigan. You break a 3-season winless streak, and you do it in the most insane fashion possible. Take me through those final few laps, and incredible photo finish there with Cole Wilson.
I mean, yeah, driver. I guess what I can say is that we had the fastest car overall. Um, you give a battle because I could tell that this race became more. Hey, we're trying to give a battle between me and Cole Wilson. The contact between Matthew White began. That was not planned. But, I mean, one hell of a drive. I hope you're happy with that, Trendler, because that was one of the best races I've ran since, I think, Michigan is what you said. So,
Well, I don't know what we're talking about. Boring. But anyways, you guys will, of course, come home with a win. I mean, like, is this like a big win for you guys after being winless 3 seasons Grand National? I know you're obviously not full time; you're full time in the Cup Series, but still to get your second win here and after almost 2 calendar years.
yeah, I mean, yeah, this is a big win. We were looking forward to this race with obviously the being the fact that it's Mexico City, and I won here in the lobbies not that long ago. So to go 2 for 2 for FedEx affiliated races here at Mexico City, that's pretty cool thing to do, honestly.
What is it that with this racetrack? Of course, you said 2 for 2 now here at Mexico City, and both those races had great other road course racers that we usually see win these things, and you've won both of them. Like, what is it that clicks here for you guys?
I guess the car, honestly, I'm never this good in a NASCAR at road courses, but I guess just something clicked with this track, something clicked with this configuration, honestly, and we took off, and I never really saw anything back in the back of our car.
Well, of course,
mirror.
well, of course, the Cup Series obviously goes to Bristol tomorrow night. Coming off an incredible Grand National Series win, that has to give you some good momentum heading into the Cup Series tomorrow, right?
Yeah, we'll try, but Bristol is just it's like Dover for me. It's not really one of the races I'm looking forward to. It's not a race we're expecting to win, but we'll just try to get through it.
All right, Ashton Miller, well, huge congratulations on an incredible victory here. Insane photo finish with you and Cole Wilson there at the line. What a race, what a finish. Congrats on the win, and have fun in celebrating in the flight back to Bristol Motor Speedway today, and we'll see you there tomorrow night for the Bristol night race.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good plane ride back.
All right, wow, what a finish. Coming up next to your second place finisher, another piece of this story, battle for the win. Cole Wilson, you come home second for the second photo finish in a row in Grand National for you guys. That's pretty impressive, but this time you'll come out on this second side of it after winning in Charlotte last week. So, I mean, were you honestly surprised after what you saw in the pace of that 79 car that you're able to keep pace with Miller all day long and have a shot at the win there at the end?
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely quicker than me in the beginning, but when I got in front of him, I could just tell he was destroying his tires. Even though he was still a lot faster than me, he was destroying his tires. He was wheel spinning off of every corner. So once he got back past me, he would pull away a little bit, and then I was able to stay with him. And then on the last lap, I just went for it. I mean, I used him up. I would have felt kind of bad if I won because I had wrecked him in like 3 different corners. But that was a great finish. I had a lot of fun battling with Ashton. He's one of my favorite people to battle with. So it was a lot of fun, and hopefully, I mean, it was a good points day again. So with guys like Christian and McMillan having bad races, we're not out of it yet.
Yeah, of course. Now this is 2 photo finishes you guys are involved in, one on each side of the first and second. So, I mean, after kind of a disappointing defending championship season the first 8 races, now these last 2, do you feel like your season has been turned around all of a sudden?
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is just what we needed. I mean, that win at Charlotte. Second place here at one of my not favorite road courses. So very happy with that, and just gonna keep looking forward. And like I said, I mean, still a long way to go, and I know we have the pace. We've had the pace all season. Just some unlucky and some skill issues. So clean that up, and let's go on a tear.
All right, Cole Wilson, of course, nice job coming home second place in this incredible photo finish here at Mexico City. Second photo finish you guys are involved in, and we'll see you next week from Homestead, Miami.
Thank you, McConaughey Setup Shop, CWR, and Asher Miller for a good battle, and NGK Sparkplex.
Whoops. Sorry, Eli. Anyways, coming up next is going to be Rich Cherry. Rich Cherry, you guys will come home third. It took you guys a while to get around Axel Smith. It was an insane battle for about third place on pack. That was just allowing the leaders to kind of pull away. How frustrating was that? Ultimately, you guys actually gained some time on them, but still will finish in third.
Actually, so I was Gary Smith. I didn't expect
yeah.
him to have this good of a run, but I wasn't frustrated at all. Number one, he's a really funny person and everything, so I was just telling him about the bathrooms at fucking County Speed, which started scurrying, but I wasn't just consistent. I mean, the stadium section, it was just a nightmare. I couldn't see the apex and everything. So yeah, I mean, you got oh man, you got a pretty. We had some fights throughout the race, Killing Wilson and Peyton Little. Let me tell you, it was a crazy battle. Some crazy things were said on the chat, so I would have fun listening to those conversations.
Well, of course, Jerry. Will we see you making the flight to Bristol Motor Speedway for tomorrow?
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I should do way better, cause I'm in the road courses. I do struggle with consistency. That's all.
All right, Richard. Well, of course. My God. Okay. Okay, Jerry.
Of course, Richard Cherry. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyway, coming up next, we'll be Davy and Tobin. Davy and Tobin, an insane finish for about 5th place there in the closing laps. Really great, consistent race for you guys. Brings you home in P5 after a pretty wild one all throughout the field. I mean, just take me through some of the highs and lows of your race, ultimately getting a top 5.
It's nice to meet you. It's the first time you get to actually hear my voice. The first restart, I don't know how I even made it through turn 1. I'll be honest. I got hit twice. And then on the second restart, I think it was something between Knox Thompson and some other driver. I ended up getting front end damage, and I think dropped back to 18th. And throughout that green flag run, I was just taking 1 or 2 drivers off at a time while saving tires. I don't like Mexico. I've never driven this car track combo. I was trying my best to stay consistent. Then Matthew White and Jacob Grino were fighting, and I was gaining about a second a lap and coming into the stadium section around the inside, almost past the both of them, and then Matthew White was just really loose on the exit of the corner and managed to get the pass done. And then from there, that's about it.
Well, of course, we head to Bristol Motor Speedway for the Cup Series tomorrow night. You guys have a pretty big chase points hole to take yourself out of. Do you guys think you're going to be able to have a good race, good points day tomorrow night from the Last Great Coliseum to at least help that?
I love Bristol as a track. I don't think I've driven this car at Bristol before. Hopefully ECR can get a good setup for tomorrow night, and we can put together some good points to close the points gap to the chase.
All right. Well, of course, still nice job coming on P5 today in a wild one in Mexico City, and we'll see you making the flight over to Bristol tomorrow night for the Bristol night race for the Cup Series.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Next up is going to be Jacob Clearno. Jacob Clearno, P6. You guys are in a crazy battle all the way back here throughout the field. Take me through it and just how ultimately you guys ended up here at P6.
So yeah, before race, I was telling my team owner Cameron Chandler, I'm gonna try to bring it where it started, but it didn't happen because turn 1 incident. At first I thought it was the 95 Junior Rodriguez because he just turned it on me. Shout out George Russell for that line. But I checked replay and later saw that like I had space between cheer. I was trying to be careful and apologize to him after. And alright, going into after that, I went to the pits, got 4 new fresh tires. Repaired some of the damage. I had three 3 minutes of option or 4 minutes of optional. Went back out, avoided a bunch of other cars. Accidentally locked it up on that restart. Uh, Locked it up, got into the 7 of Ace Rock Morgan. Climbed through the field a little bit, got past some guys, battling hard. Brought it to 6. I got to 5th for a moment because Matthew White made a mistake. So I got past him and he got back to me. Then I kept battling him and we all messed up then. I let Matthew by one time and Davian Tobin, the 65, caught up to us. And then we threw wide and threw wide for one moment and he got by and it was me and Matt battling and it was going to the same section on that right-hander, entering the same section. Me and Matt locked it up. He wrecked it. Or no, he almost wrecked it. Then I got by him. Then coming out of the same section, he was just absolutely drifting it and spun it. Coming out of that corner, and I got by. Then the rest of the race was pretty calm. Brought him was gonna try to do a burnout with my Philly teammates, Ashton, and then my team teammates, Cheery and Cole. Then Cole Clausen, decided like flat-footed and kill me, but yeah, it's fine because it's Cole Clausen. But yeah, other than that, pretty good race today. Just sucks that we got wrecked lap 1.
Well, Jacob, I have some breaking news for you guys. After this one, due to Christian Herklott's kind of misfortunes and you guys having a good finish, you are our new points leader by 1 point in the Grand National Series, and then Knox Thompson is back behind 1 point as well behind you. So top 3 separate by now, only a single point here heading to Homestead Miami Speedway. What's your reaction to that?
Gonna hope to maybe if I can't really finish good, I want to go for 2 of the 3 bonus points. I want to get pole and end up finish the race with a 0x, and hopefully finish somewhere good inside like top 10 or maybe even top 5 for that race, so I can secure a good points lead after that race. Yeah, other than that, pretty good race today. I have some really high hopes coming into Florida.
All right, Jacob. Well, nice job. Of course, our new points leader in the Grand National Series. It's very tight up there, but we'll see you next week from Homestead Miami Speedway.
Thank you.
Coming up next, going to be Knox Thompson. Knox Thompson, you guys will finish in P7 today, but ultimately, I'll give you a bit of a news flash here because of Kirklotz's issues. The points look pretty interesting now. You guys ultimately ended up having a great points day. You now are a 3rd place in the points, just 1 point back on Jacob Clarino, who is the points leader. Second, you're tied with Herklotz for P2, technically 3rd from the tiebreakers with him. How about that? And ultimately, how did you guys ultimately come home in 7th place today?
False sense of confidence coming into turn 1. After turn 1, the big wreck happened. I was like, yes. Both of the people I was competing with was out. And then everything went downhill from there. I got hit so many times I can't even count the amount of times I got hit. And then I just kind of drove my way back to the field, capitalized on the beef that was going on with Payson, Kylan, and Max, and ultimately got P7. I wish I would have got 1 more spot from Clarino, but it didn't happen. The damage kind of got me, and ultimately good points today, and happy to be close to the championship after the horrendous thing of last season.
All right. Well, of course, we head next week to Homestead Miami Speedway with you 3 all 1 point away from each other in the points lead, which is insane. How do you think that race is going to go in Miami? Do you guys think you're going to be able to gain points and possibly take that points lead officially away after that race?
I'm okay at Homestead and the trucks, but I don't know about the Xfinity cars. Last season, Homestead, I got killed on lap 1, so it didn't give me any experience there, but I feel like I could still have a good day and maybe, hopefully, take the points lead.
All right, Knox. Well, of course, nice job ultimately coming in with the top 10 finish here in Mexico City, and we'll see you next week in Miami.
Okay.
Pace and Lindsay finished 9th. Pace and Lindsay, rough home race for you guys. P9 and a lot of beef there with Kyron Wilson. So we're gonna bring Kyron Wilson in here, guys. What happened?
Oh boy.
Hey, I wasn't a part of the beef. I don't really know what happened. I pitted to try and get away from it, but he was just being an idiot. He was beefing with DP.
Okay, who's the idiot here?
You.
Whatever.
Yeah, man, sure. Whatever. Anyway, we had a half decent home race here. We got caught up in the lap 1 wreck. I think we had winning speed there when we were running with Richard Cheering and some of those guys. We had some half decent speed. We were catching the leaders for a couple laps, but then yeah, here and Matthew got into it, and we missed a corner. Had to use the runoff, and our race was kind of over from there. We got back with the squirrels, Kylan Wilson, Flippy, all those guys. Just kind of got back in the mess, so we pitted to get away from it, kind of hoping to get a caution, but we didn't. Kylan Wilson was so slow that we somehow re-caught him and made a pass there with, I believe, 2 to go. So, yeah, great job to him on that. Really showing his talent there. And we'll go into Bristol tomorrow and hopefully get a win.
I hope your pillow's warm. I hope you get stuck in Atlanta traffic all day, every day. I hope you wear your tires out in 15 laps.
For your information, I like the
every
pillow one.
other league race you start. Fuck you and fuck Max.
Okay.
Wow,
Anyways,
Anyway.
Payson, how do you guys think? Obviously, a 30-point penalty from your little thing you did last week in Charlotte.
Oh, well, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, okay, but you're down 30 points now. You're in a big points hole for the chase. Do you think you're going to be able to dig out of that in these last, 7 races, 8 races left to go in the chase?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I've done, let me check. We've done 892 laps of practice for tomorrow.
Okay.
6 hours of practice because Gen 4 is at Bristol right now, so we've done a ton of those races. Won like every single one of them. Even beating some idiots like CJ Erdman, Christian Herklotz, he sucks too. You know, just beating all the mediocre drivers. So as long as we can keep the speed up that we've had in those Gen 4 practice races, hopefully we can get the win tomorrow. Feel very confident.
All right, Payson, well, we'll see you coming up tomorrow night from Bristol Motor Speedway in the Cup Series, the Bristol Night Race.
Yeah, thank you. Go to freeway.com.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
Uh-huh.
No.
Hey, Ethan Turner sucks, by the way. Oh, and
Downed. Anyways, coming up next, man, this has been... Oh my god. This just keeps getting better and better. It really does. Max Diffie.
Oh, great.
Max Diffie, 13th place finish. You guys finished a couple laps down, unfortunately, but it looks pretty interesting with you, Kyron Wilson, and I think Pace and Lindsay as well. What was going on there?
Well, I mean, just I don't know. I already know I'm getting a penalty. Yeah, it's just every race since that dude's joined the league, he just talks crap about someone, always runs his mouth all race, every race. It's just I'm over it, and then I'm letting him go, and then he dumps Payson and gets me involved in that. So, and then you know we're all good, right? We're all single file. Payson catches back up, and he right rears Payson down the straightaway. So, I mean that's one of my closest friends I have, and he's not gonna do that and run his mouth. Meanwhile he's doing that while talking crap about me. So yeah.
All right, well, we head to Miami next week. Do you guys think you're going to have a bit of a turnaround race?
I won't really be racing Miami, and the 12 car won't be there due to a penalty, but I'll be there at Michigan.
All right, well, barring any sort of penalty, we'll see you coming up here soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Sorry. Anyways, next up, we'll.
Just want to bring it back
I
in.
think we're. Sure.
No, if you want to keep no copyright here. So.
Actually, yeah, no, he kind of went off before. We're not going to give him another chance. Eli Franklin, we'll give you an interview. What happens?
Came down pit road and got rear-ended and blew my engine. So, I mean, I didn't expect to do well, but at least hope to finish the race. We finished. We probably got top 15, which, again, I kind of wanted, but it's whatever. We're not going to fight for a championship. It would be nice to maybe get close to the top 10 in points, but at this point, we're just trying to do our best here prepare for next season. Wait for tomorrow night for Bristol. It should be a good one tomorrow night. Hopefully, like Dakar, a lot of green flag running. But we'll see. Especially a lot more cars in the field. We'll see. Hopefully, it's like a race like tonight. Just very good racing overall.
Yeah, of course, we're going to take the very long flight, all of us in the NASCAR iRacing FedEx League, to the Bristol Motor Speedway for tomorrow night's NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Season 5 250-lap Bristol night race. We are so excited for that one. It should be great. Well, what a day in Mexico City. Unbelievable action. That was one of the greatest road course races we've ever seen. In the first inaugural race here in Mexico City for the Grand National Series, did not disappoint. Everything you could have wanted. That will do it tonight. We hope you enjoyed. What a race. Of course, we're going to be back in Bristol tomorrow night for the Bristol Night Race for the Cup Series. It's going to be a big day under the lights from Bristol Motor Speedway. Should be fun. So that'll do it tonight here in Mexico City. On behalf of all drivers, team owners, commentators, officials, everybody involved making this league what it is, we will see you tomorrow night for the Season 5 Bristol Night Race for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. Good night from the Autodromo Jimenez Rodriguez in Mexico City. We'll see you tomorrow in Bristol, Tennessee.
There's going to be so much penalties from that race.